So every Greek home has their version of a sweet pumpkin pie, and it's in season right now. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make our version of a sweet Kolokithopita, which is a pumpkin pie that's actually not going to be used making pumpkin, but you can. We're using butternut squash, raisins, cinnamon, more warm spices. It's going to be shaped into a spiral using phyllo. It's going to be buttery and crispy on the outside, sweet and cozy on the inside. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to begin by making the filling. So you can use small pumpkins that are made for baking. Those big pumpkins that are put out on Halloween are not the ones you're going for. Those are not edible, so make sure you don't use those. If you can't find small baking pumpkins, then you can use butternut squash like I'm using here. If you have a big one, that's perfect, or you can use two smaller ones. We're looking for about 900 grams of fresh grated butternut squash or pumpkin. So we're going to begin by cutting the butternut squash in half, and then I'll cut the bottom portion in half again to get the seeds out. You can toast the seeds if you want or just discard them. It's totally up to you. And then I'll carefully peel the squash, and then I'm just going to grate it by hand on this box grater. It is a little bit of a labor of love, so if you have the attachment that goes onto your food processor, that's going to save lots of time and energy. And when I got down to the end of this squash and I was left with a bunch of little pieces, I just popped them into a little mini food processor and pulsed them a few times until they were finely chopped. That's totally fine. I just can't grate this. It's taking too much time, and I don't have that glove that you wear to protect your fingers. So the food processor did the trick. Everything is going to go into this big bowl, and then this is going to release a lot of liquid. It might not look like it right now, but once we add 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, you're going to see that the liquid is going to start to release. I like to transfer it into a large cheesecloth. You can use a clean kitchen towel, or you can take handfuls at a time and squeeze the liquid out of them. You'll be so surprised how much liquid is going to be released. I'll just put it all into this cloth and then squeeze as much of the liquid out as possible. We're not looking for this to be totally dry because we do want it to have a little bit of moisture once it goes into the pie, but most of this liquid, as you can see, we don't need it. So we're going to discard that, then place the shredded butternut squash or pumpkin, whatever you're using, into the bowl. And now we're just going to flavor it. So 2 cups of light brown sugar. This is lightly packed brown sugar. 2 heaping teaspoons of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. It's not traditional in the Greek pie, but I like to add it in because it's part of that pumpkin pie spice flavor that we love. Then I'll do the zest of an orange. Since I don't have a large orange, I'll just zest these 2 small clementines. I also have some grounded walnuts. You can use grounded pecans instead. Ground almonds will work too. Add those in here with a heaping cup or more of raisins. You can use raisins or your favorite dried fruits such as figs, dates, or even apricots. And then this is not something that you've ever had in a pie, but especially in northern Greece, where they're known for making the most delicious pies, they like to add a little bit of uncooked rice to the mixture, to the filling, that absorbs the liquid. So it is going to give it a little bit of a heartier texture. So if you don't like rice, you can leave it out. You can add some ground breadcrumbs to this, or even some ground up cookies. Cookies will work, like a shortbread cookie, a very lightly flavored cookie. A 1/4 cup of uncooked rice is going in here. This is a long grain, regular rice that I use to make pilaf with. And then 3 eggs, I'll just whisk them up and add them in, mix everything all together. And once you make the filling, you're going to want to move a little quickly because the sugar that we've added will draw out more of the liquid that's in the butternut squash, and it happens fairly quickly. So my phyllo is already thawed out. Today I'm using number 7, and I'll just use 1 sheet at a time because it's more of a thicker country style phyllo. Make sure to thaw out your phyllo at room temperature. If it's frozen, thaw it out in the refrigerator overnight and then on the counter for at least 1 or 2 hours before you're ready to use it. We're using the thicker phyllo today, so I'll do 1 sheet at a time. If you're using the regular phyllo that's used for making baklava, which are the thinner sheets, you can use 2 or 3 sheets. So I've melted some butter. All we need is 2 sticks of unsalted butter. I'll brush butter onto each layer, and then I'll take about 2 heaping tablespoons of the filling and then mix it each time you go in to use it, because like you'll see, There's a lot of liquid in there. Just go ahead and spread it on the bottom of that phyllo sheet and then roll it up. The first one can be twisted into a spiral just to kind of get that circular shape going into the pan. I'm using a round pan because I have it, but you can use a half sheet baking pan for this too and just form the spiral around. So the first spiral is going in, and then the remaining phyllo, we're just going to form rolls with it. We won't spiral them up because each time we make a roll, we're just going to place it around that first spiral until all of them are in there. Just like that, we're going to get all of those sweet pumpkin filled phyllo rolls over around that first initial spiral. Then I'm going to brush it all around very generously with butter. This is going to go in the oven. The oven is preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to bake for an hour. So you want to keep an eye on it and keep this baking on the middle or lower rack, just that way it has a chance to bake really well. The phyllo is going to get nice and crispy. The filling is going to get fully cooked, and we have some uncooked rice in there, so you don't want this to cook quickly, so that way the rice gets a chance to fully soften and become almost creamy in there and hearty. Once it comes out of the oven, we're going to dust this with some powdered sugar and cinnamon, lots of powdered sugar. This particular pie isn't getting a honey syrup on top. I'll make another one like that. If you want, just let me know in the comment section down below. We're going to let this sit at room temperature for about 15-20 minutes or longer, just so that way it can come to room temperature. And then once you cut into it, you'll see that that filling is fully cooked and the butternut squash is almost melted. You're going to see the raisins in there. This goes great with some Greek coffee, and it's ready to serve. And there you have it, a sweet fall treat that you're gonna love. It's not overly sweet. In some parts of Greece, instead of using powdered sugar, we do make a simple syrup that we pour on top. But I think because I added all of that sugar on the inside, I skipped the syrup on top. If you want a version with the syrup, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll bring it to you. Like I said before, I used butternut squash today, but if you can find the sweet baking pumpkins, which are the small pumpkins, not the big ones that you decorate as jack-o'-lanterns, not those. The small ones are the ones that are used for baking, and you can shred those up and use those instead of the butternut squash. I think you guys are gonna love this one. It's so warm and crispy and buttery and delicious, and it's also beautiful because it's in the shape of a spiral. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. The exact measurements and the printable recipe are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.